Hello again, everyone. I'm Trish Triumpho Sullivan with Art History, ART1A, and we're in lecture number 2. I'm here to answer the question, what is art? What is it? Well, it's something us humans do, and more than a few other animals on Earth. Though humans seem to be the only animal who intentionally uses art in an imaginative, innovative, and intentional manner. Yes, some animals use art, we'll put it in quotes, to design, or to communicate intentionally or instinctively, depending on who you talk to, right? Let's think of some words that we can use to describe art. So when you're thinking about art, what do you think of? Painting? Okay. Color? Creative? Sculpture? What else? What other things do you think of when you think about art? Painting, creativity. What else? Emotion. I'm sure you think of a lot of other words, a lot of other things to describe art. And there's a lot of stuff out there that we can say is art, or we can use descriptive words. All of these words and a lot more describe art. When I'm teaching a class in person, we usually fill up the entire board with words that describe art. But the fact is, the dictionary defines art as the expression or application of human creative skills and imagination, typically in a visual form, such as painting or sculpture, producing works to be appreciated primarily for their beauty or emotional power. Is all art beautiful? Absolutely not, right? Some art could be really disturbing. Let's talk about how it can even evoke violence in people. I'll tell you a little story about an artwork called Cathedra, and I recommend you look it up. It's a large modern artwork that's pretty much, and I say large, I'm talking like wall size, okay? Pretty much a solid blue color. There's not a lot of stuff going on there, right? And the artist who painted it really wanted it to invoke a sense of the universe, like the cathedral of the sky over our heads. So he had it kind of a religious thought. And the artist Barnett Newman created it in 1951. His art was so offensive to some that it was damaged 3 times. First, a man felt that a painting that was called Who's Afraid of Red, Yellow, and Blue, it's kind of a takeoff on the title of the book, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, right? This guy was offended because he felt that painting was disrespectful to the German flag. So he slashed it up, right? Then a different man, right? This is a different person, vandalized that same painting because he was offended by it as well. He slashed it up with a knife and served 5 months in jail for doing that. Yeah, right? That's pretty intense. He actually vandalized 2 different paintings because once he got out, he became enraged that first painting That's the same one that was vandalized before, right? He was enraged it had been restored, so he returned to the same museum to vandalize it again, only to find that there was a different painting in its place. So he destroyed that one instead. He hated modern art. He really hated it with a vengeance. So much so, he slashed up Cathedra, this beautiful blue painting, with a box cutter. He did around $1 million in damage, and he ended up serving years in prison for damaging that artwork. You know, one has to be pretty dang passionate. I mean, furious, like uncontrollable rage, to risk spending years in prison over an artwork. I wanted you to think about this. Can you imagine a work of art affecting you so strongly that you'd go to jail for it? Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Well, I have to say, one definition of art that I love is good art evokes emotion, right? Sometimes a strong emotion. Sometimes it could be like joy. Let's think of some emotions. It could be a feeling of joy, happiness, disgust, elation, love, jealousy, anger, sadness, sympathy, and many, many more. A lot more. Okay, we got the dog is excited about the emotions. Hey, Pip, that's enough. My little pet Pip is interrupting my lecture about emotion. She's feeling kind of emotional. So let's put that down. Good art should evoke emotion. It evokes an emotion in the viewer of the art. So good art should make you, should do something. Art doesn't always make the viewer feel good, but it should make the viewer feel something, right? It should feel something. And art doesn't have to be beautiful either. In some cases, it can be downright ugly or distasteful. But art should move you, right? Art is so powerful that it can create social change, right? Art's amazing. So what if I do this? Is it art? Well, if I put it on a pedestal under glass and call it paperwork number 10, okay, I'll put a value of $2,500 on it. Would it be considered art? If I say it's art, it's art. So it is if I say so, which is kind of interesting. Art can be defined as the intention of the artist, and I'm going to write that down too. Whoops. Intention of the artist. And that's kind of important because I can say this is art, and because it's my intention and it's art, it is art. Maybe I could get someone to pay $2,500 for it even, right? But if I say it's recycling, then it's recycling. Okay, so that's like the intention of the artist. We've all heard that art or beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And you know what? It's true. We all have personal preferences. Like the guy who destroyed those paintings. He was a realist painter who hated modern abstract art with a passion. Right? Pretty crazy stuff. We all have our personal preferences. In the art world, it's termed aesthetics, right? These are very personal and derive influence from the culture, the region, the environment of the viewer, and from many other factors as well. And we learn aesthetics. We're not like born with aesthetics. We learn them. So this class is going to assist you in the development of your personal aesthetic, right? And that's a big benefit to critical thinking, problem solving, and simply understanding what you like or dislike in a particular work of art. So next, we're going to learn some art words.